Hey, it's Andre, and it's time for another Friday flying update. How many biplanes does a person need? The answer to that question is all of them. Yeah. The video you're looking at is my assembly video, which I still edit. I do apologize for that, but that's just how the week was going. You will see when this video is produced, it is a long build process. One of the more complicated airplanes I put together recently, and it's one of those airplanes you take your time with because there are a few daunting tasks. Things like, spreading the landing gear out to push into your brand new foam. It's just like, wow. These wing supports are just gnarly to clip in there. Very daunting, and then getting the pins aligned. There are a few other little minor things like I was really happy that they labeled the supports, but then the decals they used were terrible, and you end up with goop all over it, so you have to sit there and scrape it all off. Flying wise, once you're dialed in, wow, what a stunning airplane. But there is no footage right now of the flying, and the reason was I knew the mating was going to be stressful because with the 2200 in there, I was marginal at best on my CG, and I took off in safe select because this is the bind and fly versus the plug and play, and as soon as I flicked that thing off, as soon as I flicked off the safe select, bang, it dropped that tail. It was just tail heavy, and I'm like, wow. And so I had to bring the speed up and everything, and I landed the first time in safe select because I wanted the tail to, and it was just like, wow, that's just flying with just a ton of down elevator. So the second flight, I still a little frazzled by the first flight. I stuck in at 3S4000, and it immediately flew better. I was still having to hold down elevator, but it was a lot better. I could slow it down, and it was very graceful, very predictable, very elegant. It's such a beautiful plane to watch. So I've come home after I got home, and I dialed in a little bit more down elevator to help pop that nose up, right? People have emailed me saying they put in up to 3 grams of extra nose weight to help push it over and just make it better. Chris says he prefers to fly, when he flew Chloe's on the 2200, to keep it light and nimble. I prefer the 4000. And yes, this is a significantly heavier plane than some of its older predecessors, which just weigh a lot less. Now, what I'm really happy about this, and I think I mentioned this before, is I now have a biplane. I can get spare parts for at least the next year or two, so I will stock up on wing struts and stuff like this, and I'll save these beautiful airplanes, the SE5A, the Albatross, and even the Sweet Wing, the Stagger Wing, sorry, for the future, or just special flying occasions, because those things are impossible almost to get spare parts for. But this thing is a fantastic airplane, and I have to give a huge shout out to Great Hobbies who made it happen. We collaborated on something, and this is the result of those efforts. I was able to bring this thing home. Now, would have I gone for the plug and play? Absolutely. Unfortunately, they didn't have any in stock, so I did get the bind and fly. So that will affect things down the road, because I want to do things like get another canopy and get that guy out of there and put a pan and tilt. But until I have a full, proper, a DSMX, a spectrum receiver module, transmitter module in my Tyrannus, I will not trust the Orange RX with FPV flight. And I have my reasons for, I've had airplanes just drop out of the sky as soon as you get too far out. But this thing flying FPV will be stunning. So next time I'm out flying, I'll have the camera there. If I had a little GoPro session or something like that, I would totally stick that in there. But I'm really tempted by the run cam split, because you could put the FPV module in there and put the run cam on with a nice lens on a pan and tilt and just enjoy that view. Imagine that 180-degree pan and tilt module, head tracker on this airplane. It would be a gorgeous flight. And then, 3S4000, you could be up there for 10, 15 minutes if you're putting along really slow. And then with the safe select on board, if anything goes gnarly, you hit that switch and you're nice and happy. So, well done Horizon and e-flite for coming out with this airplane. I think next year you're going to see the RC After Hours guys really flying the bi-wings and just having a good time with some of this stuff, because they're such fun airplanes, and I love the fact that it is a 1100 mil plane, so I can just drop a couple of these into the back seat of the car and really enjoy them. So more flying on Saturday. Sunday is wet, so it'll probably be my opportunity to get in there and build up that TBRC, like I even said it correctly, the Apex 2. I wanted to do it last weekend, but I got busy dealing with the fall, yard closure and pool closure stuff. So that said, this Saturday, lots of flying. This airplane will be primary to go. I'll probably try and get out and burn off some 4S packs with the Vampire. No, I've not finished the F-16 EDF package and moving that to another airplane. I haven't got around to that. I am still looking for a new foam chassis for that thing, or I'm just going to go with a flight test route and get that done. It's the weekend, Saturday flying. Sunday looks wet, but we have a very special guest coming on the podcast, so stay tuned. We'll do social media on that, and obviously we'll be talking about my experience flying this thing. Obviously Chris and the crew flew Chloe's and had a really good time, so now it's my turn to talk about it. So there we go. Lots of projects in the works coming up. I've actually just ordered an F4 flight controller and a sat nav modules so I can try that iNav. I've been asked to give my hands into that, so that's a winter project. Obviously that's going to go into probably the Chimera. I do have to finish off all the sweep wing products and get those going, so over the winter we'll see some wing flying, obviously, because that's a great time of year just to toss those things up and have a good time with them. So there we go. Lots in the works, lots coming, lots of announcements. We're gonna have some fun this fall. Next week I jet off to our favorite new location in Florida for Flight Fest, Lake Wales. So I'm looking forward to that. So I will do a quick little update on the Friday, and otherwise I'll be busy hanging out with the volunteers and having a good old time. And this is like my third trip to Florida, so I'm going to soak up some of that heat before getting ready for a long winter of outdoor flying with all kinds of cool stuff. Pardon me, losing my voice. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, this weekend RC After Hours podcast, a little bit of flying, and I hope everybody else can get out flying on Sunday when we're soaking in the rain. But hey, it's project season. I'm Andre. Thank you to all the new subscribers, and congratulations to Cameron Best, who won the 2,000 subscriber contest last weekend. He walked away with an RC After Hours t-shirt and a gift certificate from Amazon was his request. So that was cool. So again, thank you for subscribing. Have a fantastic weekend. I'm Andre. Bye.